Okay. Oh Lord.
So,
Okay. All
all
right.
right. So we're back, you guys. This is Kia Ortiz, Mommy Mondays, Ava Rain Ortiz, Mommy. Oh, Urena, Kathleen Robinson. We're waiting for my grandma to try to pop back in. I know her phone was dying. You guys, it's so funny the battle between my grandmother and phones. Like, I think, can you hear me,
Yeah.
Mama?
Her nose. Her nose.
Oh, y'all, this little girl has been fighting me all morning. That's why I keep popping in and out because she hungry, or let me give her a snack. She just killed the snack or she threw the snack. Oh, there's a snot on her nose.
Mm,
Yeah, just let you live your best life.
she looking cutesy.
No shade. Look at that food. I had to try to keep her quiet. So I was like, just suck the food.
Yeah.
Hey Levi. But my grandmother, she has this. I'm not done yet. And so she, I guess, however way her battery drains because of
It's
her
an old
body or
phone.
something.
Yeah. Well, this one she has an old phone. She has my old phone.
Okay,
So
got you.
yeah.
All right. So I do have a few questions, Mom, while we try to wait for Grandma that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So I know one thing people ask us all the time is how close we are. Go get a snack. How
Um,
close we are, and I'm curious on that because as I raise Ava, I wanna be as close to her as I am with you. So how did you like cultivate like this relationship between us?
it was time. We spent time together. I mean, all the time. If you notice, you and Quentin are very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
During that time period after, your parents got divorced, it was I didn't date. Oh, in fact, you and Quentin tried to hook me up with people. My mom is so lonely. I'm like, stop doing it. I'm not. Um, I really, really, but even before the divorce, we were close. There was no place that I would go that you couldn't go. And we had fun. I made sure that if I went to go get something to eat, I would try to do stuff that it was more kid friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was just grocery store. I mean, can you think of a place outside of when you went to go visit? When you went to visit your father, I was still at home. I would clean, I would do, but it was loving up on you guys, laughing with you guys, singing with you guys. It was just doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that, excuse me, and it's timeless. You don't just stop doing it once your kids are grown. If it's a
Mm-hmm.
text or a phone call or a card or flowers, whatever it is, because your siblings are all over the place. Nigel's in Italy, and I'll say, "Hey, baby, how you doing? What you doing?" Um, you have to keep that going. And one of the counselors told me, if your kids get on your nerves, spend more time with them. That does not make sense.
And you guys, she told me that, and I was like, but there's a lot of them. Like,
You have four. You
yeah, that's true. You had six.
yeah.
So I'm gonna count my blessings and stitch and sew this up real quick and throw it away. But I think that's so cool that you said that because I guess we live in a culture where it makes you feel like, well, you need breaks from your kids. And I think there's a balance because I think you need a break from anybody. I mean, even when I get breaks from Jonathan, I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? It's a nice break,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like kids are treated like a burden, per se. And so it's kind of like, what do I need to do to hurry up and get away from my kids? And the one thing I remember growing up with you was, like you said, we went everywhere with you. Like, got my hair done with you. If you went somewhere and I don't know if I don't even know how you did that. Going because I don't even remember you really hanging out with friends. I know you had a friend, but we were always with you guys.
Yeah.
Um,
To
and
be
so I
honest,
really appreciate you did that. But was it always like that when you were single? Because I know you had to work two jobs at one point.
I worked two jobs just because I had a credit card that had a low balance. I wanted to pay it off and I wanted to save some money before we moved to Virginia Beach. But I will tell you, I think the core of who I am, I have friends and I love my friends. Don't get me wrong. But I am the type of person I can get overwhelmed with people because of you see
Mhm.
people hurting or you see this, you see that, and I just want to help them all. Not everybody will appreciate that in a what is the word? Like in a relationship where there's gives and takes. I found
Mm,
that a lot of people were very overwhelming for me. Um, I've met some amazing people that I don't even know how they do. Okay, shout out to all you preachers and preachers' wives. I don't know how y'all do that, but we appreciate it. Don't give up. We love you guys. I know we seem it's the same concept. It's at work. If you are a manager over people, um, if they drain you, of course you don't want to spend time. Your kids, my husband made it a way so that I could get my nails done, my hair done. I had a car. You guys are in school. I had time to do. So it wasn't
yeah.
like all the time with me all the time, but I would encourage people to find interests separate from your kids. Now, I meant like you make time to for your kids and then you separately. Not no, my kids are here. Get out of here. I'm trying to do. That definitely is a sign, and any family member should try to remember if you see a family member doing that, one, talk to them. Stress is a killer. Being overwhelmed I mean, people get depressed because of
Mhm.
that. You helped me a lot with your siblings. You was always grown at 9. This grown. But if I didn't have that, those days where I cried, those days where it was really, really hard, it would have been even worse for me. So that is why when I see people, my kids or whoever it is, I try to give them a word of encouragement. I try to see what they need. I like to work behind the scenes. I don't like to be seen. So if it's a matter, somebody needs some food or if they need somebody to watch their child for like an hour, okay, I ain't trying to, you know, I did my time, but um, it whatever it is, it's not easy being a mom. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, I tell people all the time, they are CEOs of their own company and they work 24/7. They
Okay.
definitely don't leave. So hey, if nobody else tell you, I appreciate you. I know what it's like. But when you look at what you do it from your heart. Don't worry about if people judge you stay at home. They give you them weird looks and stuff, but you are rearing little people to become productive citizens. And that
Mhm.
says a lot. If their foundation is strong, then as they go out there and do it, they're not going to be trying to pull from people. They're going to be sowing into people. Um,
Mm.
so it's hard, but I just found things. Sometimes it's just a matter of okay, you guys want to learn how to make snow angels. Okay, I don't do no snow angels. That's cold. I don't do it. But I had a friend that did. She was out there doing snow angels with you. I was sitting in the car in warmth, reading a book. You know what
I
I mean?
remember that day.
Yes. You make time for yourself, but then you also make time for your kids. And if there's an imbalance where you're always doing your kids and you don't make time for yourself, you will feel distraught. You will.
That's good you just said, huh? It's grandma.
Is she in?
I don't know. Hey, grandma. Hey, your charger. Uh huh. Okay, you want to click it, try to get in, or do you want to just let your phone charge? Okay, all right. Me and mom are on, so I'll call you afterwards. Okay. All right. All right. Love you. Bye bye. All right. So she said that it was her charger cord that wasn't charging her phone, and so her phone's trying to charge now. So we'll do another day. We can hang out with grandma. But
Mm,
I'm glad you said that, mom, because I think that it's when it's imbalanced.
mhm.
Because I think sometimes people may think, okay, I'm be my kids 50% of the time, myself 50% of the time. I don't know if it's necessarily. Would you say there's a percentage, or like a
No.
way, or is it just more like okay? Because I know some moms that don't get break, and they're good with a nice little 20-minute break from the kids, and then they're good to go. Whereas me, I love me nap time, which is an hour and a half to 2 hours. If they infringe upon my hour and a half, 2 hour mark, I'm upset. but I think I'm good with that as long as I keep it consistent, you know?
Yeah. I agree with that. Even with your kids, like set them down. I have grandbabies that I watch, and I learned with Lennox, 10 o'clock in the morning, he has to lay down, take a nap. In fact, he'll come to me sometimes and then he'll just lay up on me. Come on. He's already got his pacifier, put him in there, lay down, he'll sleep for an hour and a half, wake him up, feed him. It's all about the mom. It's if you allow other people to infringe on the type of mom you're going to be, you might be a lot of stress receiving that because only you know it. If 20 minutes works for you, whatever. But also remember the focus is so that when you interact with your kids, it's always a positive, even when you're disciplining your kids, you know. Um, remember to yeah, we mad. Yeah, oh yeah, you want to throw a shoe, all that stuff. But when you talk to them, it's the focus is to discipline them to not do this behavior because and dot 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 dot.
Yeah.
Um, if you do it in anger, it means you're hey, take a break.
Yeah.
I'm done there.
Jen said that burnout is real. And
Mhm,
that's a good point, Mom, because you could always tell when you're burned out when your kids start to get it. I know when I'm burnt out, like I start yelling more, get away from me, stop chewing, and God, can I get a break? Why are you breathing on me? Like when all that stuff starts happening, okay, I need a break. Like something has happened
yes.
where I didn't get my me time or I'm just feeling whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, and so the kids end up getting, so that's a telltale sign that you are burnt out.
Hmm. It is, and if you think about it, and this may be a little bit frustrating for some people, but this is something I've been dealing with for a few years. What we say and what we do are seeds. So if you say something the wrong way and you go back and you apologize, that's fine. If you say something and it was the wrong way, and then your behavior starts to do it, you're starting to water the seed, which means it'll increase within that individual, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your children, whether it's your friends, your family
Mm.
members. And I've shed many a tears over these some seeds that I have sown. I mean, I can go back and I try to quickly apologize, but there's been times when I've given more, or as my husband say, you passed the exit sign. You still driving on that same road. You should have got off a long time ago. And then what happened was from me being distraught, I become depressed. And then I'll shut myself away. So I don't want to spend time with people instead of just telling them, nope, this is it. I want to make sure that when we interact, it's a positive thing on both sides. And I'm finding myself feeling neglectful towards you or bitter towards you. And they feel it. Even your kids. If you
Yeah.
if you are a stay-at-home mom or say your kids are around you and it's intimate, okay, I need you here. Take this book. Mommy's going on a timeout and she's going to sit here and get some peace and quiet. So if you can just do this or play with your game or go outside and play, let mommy have 20 minutes. You can even set the timer because then when they hear it, ding, oh, they come back in, mama. But at least you ain't give yourself enough time. So you got to do both.
Okay, you need maybe more time then. If that
But
if that that alarm bothered you, you're like, okay, 20 minutes is not enough.
exactly. It takes time. And if you make a mistake, don't beat yourself up too much. You know, okay, I made a mistake. Let me try to do better. It's steps. And it took me some years. And even some things like you might talk to some of our kids and they might say, well, this, and this. I can't take back what I've done. You know, I just can't, but I can do better. And so that's the thing that I strive to do in all of my relationships. I strive to do better. Um, it takes time
Yeah.
and it takes you healing from whatever is within you to be able to walk in it. If you're a battered, bruised person, how do you think that you're going to try to help somebody? Yeah, I think I told you this, Sheree. I was telling people, you know, you get on the plane, they said, if this mask drops, you put it on yourself first, then put it on your children. Because if you don't have it on and something happens, you're not going to be able to put it on your children. So I tell people all the time, I have to put my mask on first I can't help everybody. In certain situations, I don't know how to help you, or I'm frustrated. I can't help you. You know, what I'm going to say? Okay, let's be frustrated together. That's weird. But if you try to, in small ways, to take care of yourself, and then what you do when you see somebody else, give them a little helping hand. It's a little bit, yes, but it's something the person didn't have. And it's a little
Yeah.
bit that you're learning, but you didn't have that before. Now you have something else. Um, but this whole thing of we'll get it instantly. No, you don't even go to school to be a parent. You don't take no classes. You don't do nothing.
No.
You don't get a diploma or a degree afterwards.
Okay, no recognition, no honor roll,
Well,
no
I don't know.
bonuses.
I have a whole bunch of little wood things, ceramic things. I've kept all the pictures,
That we made
cards.
for you.
Yes, yes. And when I look back,
Oh,
let me
sorry, Mom. You can see that.
it
I'm
makes
sorry.
me laugh.
I was
Amen and amen.
just says this is why the village is so important too. The village doesn't just help with the children, but it makes room for the mom to have her moment to regroup and recover. Yes. I'm sorry, Mommy. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was trying to put it on the screen so when you
Oh yes, well I saw it. I don't know when.
mom, me and mom both have this complex. If y'all seen Up, we're like, oh, squirrel. What was that?
Yeah, we do.
Wait,
We
hold
do.
on.
Yeah.
But it's I think you're so right, Mom, because so many people, and that's how you raised me, but so many people don't have that bond with their mother. They don't have that, just somebody to bounce off of. And so sometimes you can feel like you're by yourself. But I remember on those days that I'm just out of it, you're like, okay, let's pray. Or you be like, okay, did you take a break? You give me suggestions. You let me know that I'm not alone, that you dealt with it too. Because at the end of the day, I mean, where I am today is because I saw you do it. I saw you give up your career and take care of your kids and do all that. And I think people who have been on Mommy Mondays just listening to you can attest, oh, that's where she got it from her mama. Yeah, I get it from my mama, my best friend, my my everything. And one thing I love about you too is like you're real. Like, you know what I mean? I've seen some moms that are like fluffy, like, oh, I love my kids and blah, 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 blah. And I remember when growing up, you got it confused. I'm, I'm a black mama. Don't let the light skin fool.
And I say that I have to, like, for people that hear that, I have I'm African American, but I have a white cultural background. I went to an all white Christian academy, and I thank God because during that time period, my mom was going through a rough period. Just doing what we're doing, trying to take care of us, also take care of herself, her husband, and it was just crazy. And so my friends, parents, they're so sweet. Like leave it to people, just pull them off a TV show. My one friend in particular, Lisa Wood, I'll never forget. I think it was just Woods. But I hung out her with her all the time, and bless her heart, she would lay out in the sun to get tan. She trying to get dark like me. I had to remind her I'm black. But her mom and her dad took me into their house and loved up on me, and just, I mean, it was just so real. So for me, it's like you can have the moms that are like that. And I know that there are some moms that are black that are. My mom ain't like that. But and she loves me. But once again, the little shout out to the how them, especially them male children can take you there. I know how to fling a shoe, and it's like a frisbee. And my kids, they still talk about it, they laugh. I don't I don't recommend that because
That was a seed that was watered.
yeah, and also that means too far. Take your 20-minute break. Or as one lady told me, my one of my doctors, she's white, and I was talking to her about some things, and she said my mama got mad one time, and she flung a shoe, and she hit my brother in a spot that was a little tender, and he dropped to his knees. And she said another time, the mom, they looked at her, and she said, I need to put myself in timeout. So it isn't about race. It's actually who you are, and how you deal with things. Timeouts for kids showing off. If it gets too much, then you might want to check and see if you're the one supposed to be in timeout. You know. Yep.
I see that's profound, Mom, because at the end of the day, I guess that's what I was trying to get across. It's kind of like the a lot. I think a lot of that was kind of like you reassuring yourself of who you were, you know what I mean, and raising us. And so I even find myself like that too, like don't get it twisted, you know what I mean. But then I'm kind of like, okay, well, what does that mean, you know what I mean? It's not really a cultural thing, but this is who I am, and you're infringing. I feel disrespected. You're infringing upon my personal space, you know, these, and it makes me want to be defensive. And I think that default setting, especially because you know, society tells us, you know, that we're the angry black woman or whatever the case may be. You know, we feel like that might need to be our default setting to get the respect that we want, but really it's
Mhm.
not, because we're now teaching our kids, um, you know, instead of a healthy way of dealing with it is that lashing out versus, you know, a break. And so I brought that about because I appreciated you doing that, because it allows me to be real in my own
Mhm.
space, and it allows me to
Yeah.
evaluate what am I doing, what am I saying, and I'll come back and apologize to my kids like you did us.
Yeah.
And you know, some parents are like, well, you don't apologize to your kids. I'm like, but like you said, I'm raising human beings, I'm raising adults, and there's a lot of adults walking around here with child hurt that their mom said in
Mhm.
anger, which really she stepped out of character,
Yeah.
because she's human, and because, you know, we're not taught these things, like you said, there's no class for it, and so everybody's doing the
Yeah.
best that they can. And so that allowed me as a kid to know, okay, when I'm frustrated, when I'm angry, I need a break or whatever, but it allows me as a mom to see, okay, I am human, it's okay that I feel this way, what can I do to make it better, because I don't want to respond to my kids this way. I mean, I was at a store one time, and you know, the kids kept kicking me in the car, and I said, stop kicking me, I'm gonna take your leg off and beat you with it. And this one looked at me like, or I've told the kids, be quiet, I'm gonna rip your lips off and put it in my pocket. I've
That's
said so many.
God, mommy. You got that. That's who you got it from. Your God, mommy. She just said that. Mhm.
Right? Rip your lips off. But it's like, it's kind of like, it's, I can laugh about it. I'm like, okay, baby, mommy ain't gonna really rip your lips off.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like, oh, when I see that, okay, that means I need a break. And I try again every day, every morning. I keep trying and trying again, and it's okay. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of curious too. What are some crazy things that you guys have said to your kids that you're like, well, that came from
Nowhere. Just huh. I believe that the subconscious says, look, enough is enough. Let me talk. And
yeah.
just all this
I got
stuff.
it. I got it. Like that Venom from is that Marvel, where Venom
Oh,
will come in into the man's mind and start talking. You're not doing it
yes,
right.
it's
Let me do
crazy.
it.
It's really crazy. But something I learned when because Malik, I had
Mhm.
him, babysitting him. I learned because I was a stay-at-home mom, I am in control of my time.
Uh-huh.
So I would go grocery shopping. If he started to be a little cranky, well, I'll just come back tomorrow. The
Yeah.
store wasn't that far away. And then I just tried to focus on having a positive experience with him. So sometimes it's more about the experience, what you're trying to do. And it's not just your kids, it's your significant other. Sometimes you can find like things are really tense. They've had
Mhm.
a rough day, you've had a rough day. Well, it's date night. Oh, no. Well, let's say, hey, kids, come on. You want to take a shower? We put on pajamas. We go to bed early. Just rest. I mean, that whatever y'all do, but ultimately you don't do date night. I ain't gonna mess with nobody's groove. But the whole thing being is sometimes routine is great, and sometimes breaking the routine is what you may need. Only you can say, but never ever push yourself where you start to not like the person you're becoming.
Yeah.
You
That's
just
good, boobies. Oh,
it's it is what it is. But also try to remember sometimes family is there. Now, family is not there to rear your children. If you need a break, yes. But I I am recuperating from learning how to do something besides rear my kids. And my kids are like, how old now? So what I tell people now when they really want me to do such a look, I went to jail, I did my time, it's your turn. you know? And it's not being mean, it's being sarcastic because I remember when I wanted to break out, but now I'm here and I have no kids, but I'm still in that mode, you know? I don't know how to break it because I didn't have that separation a long time ago. It would have been easier. Um,
Yeah, because it's almost like you had kind of lose yourself when
yes,
you don't aren't real with yourself, and then when the kids get out the house, then you're kind of like, okay, well, who am I? I've suppressed my emotion, or I didn't get the healing
right.
that I needed, or whatever the case may be. You kind of can't see that person in the mirror, and I think that's why God has me doing Mommy Mondays, like encouraging, the mom. Like so many times we can get tools and advice and hacks for our kids, but very little do we talk about the mom, because I even think it's as a thing like, well, it's no longer about me, it's about the kids. It's like, no, it's still about you. And your relationship with your kids is so much different stuff, but you can't forget yourself, because what ends up happening is your kids become your everything and then you have nothing less, or your kids become your everything, right? And they get that negative side of things where you're lashing out at your kids because you feel type of way. I saw an image of a mom chained to her kid, and
Mm,
and the mom had its head down, because it's like, and I'm gonna do a talk on that, but it was kind of like, wow, a lot of moms feel like that they're chained to their kids and can't do nothing because they've lost their identity and they lost their self, and the kid end up bringing the I guess the, what is that? Not the doormat, but the punching bag,
yeah.
because of that. And it's like, okay, well, we need to figure out how to get ourselves together and be the best mom, and the kids will kind of flow from that, because I've seen where I've said stuff to the kids
Hmm.
and they've either said it back to me or said it to each other. And
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, that was nasty. Is that how it sounded out my mouth? Like, ooh.
Yeah. There's one other thing I would like to say about parenting is we all know that we weren't perfect. Our kids are not going to be perfect. And
Yeah.
if there's certain things that you have a strong conviction about, um, you have to give your kid, you have to choose. For instance, I'll use the topic just kind of loosely, sex.
Hmm.
Most people, they don't want their kids to get sexually active at a young age and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But history has shown that people will sneak and do whatever. And real talk is good, but sometimes you have to give them a forum where they feel safe enough to talk to you. I had a lot of fear about that. At the same time, I didn't want my kids to lose their life because they're being young people like we were, and you start to explore stuff. And then because your parents didn't do a safe talk with them, they don't tell you what's going on. Rainey had a classmate who ran away, and her parents didn't know where she was for like a year, if not longer, because she had gotten pregnant
Yeah.
and she was scared to tell her parents.
Mm.
And so, there's certain things, okay, if you do this, I'm gonna spank you. But I started doing this thing. Well, if you come to me and say somebody else says it, we're gonna talk about it, you won't get a spanking. Or if I ask you a direct question and you're honest enough to tell me, and it's gonna be an answer that I would not appreciate, you're not gonna get a spanking. Or you say, we're gonna talk about why you did it. What can you do differently? I mean, some kids might say, well, I did it because I want to do it and I'm gonna do it again. Okay, now that's not the right attitude. And your past, but we're gonna talk about this a little bit more. But we have to have a relationship with our kids where they feel like if they're in trouble or they've done something, they know they're in trouble, and it's better for them to go to the parents and talk to them instead of another avenue. We
Yeah.
we have to think about that. We're not perfect. We weren't perfect. They're not going to be perfect, and they're still the little people you're bringing up. So please be mindful of their heart, mindful of their frailties, and they're just learning and they're just smelling themselves, as old people used to say, which I
Yeah.
mean,
That's good.
I would do deodorant if I was smelling. But anyway, um, just give
Hilarious.
them some lead room. That is the one thing I wish I had learned earlier on, so I could
Hmm.
help. Um,
That's good, mommy. All right. As you can see, your granddaughter is getting unruly.
and it's 29 minutes and 51 seconds.
Yes. All right. So I thank you guys again for tuning in with us. If you have any questions or comments, or you just want to hit my mama up and borrow her for a little bit, feel free. She is here. I'm here. Um, and Miss Ava's here. And I just pray that, especially with being moms and having daughters, that we could just continue creating a legacy of good moms, good bonding, good relationships for the
Amen.
next one. So I love you, mommy, so much. Thank you for being my mom. Hi, Nigel. I saw that he said that's my mama.
My baby. Okay. I'm sorry,
Yes,
grown man. Yeah.
yes. And if y'all see my family on the street now, you know the story. So, if you see us act crazy or whatever, we got it from her. No, I'm joking.
Get
But
it.
I love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
I
Bye
love
bye.
you. Bye bye.